Hi, Ian here from BeAWinningTrader.com, and I'm just sharing with you in this video a trade that I'm presently in on light crude oil. It is the Light Crude Oil Futures. It is a buy signal. It is a live account. There is my account there. It is not a sim. You can see there the sim B, so there's Ian Foster's account. I've taken the signal based on a higher vertical bar trading pattern low, confirmed low, and we've got blue bars. I have my sell stop in here, so in other words I'm risking from my entry price at 104.11 to 103.88 as I speak to you. Now I've just got another higher confirmed vertical bar trading pattern low in here. This blue arrow has indicated that, and I can now bring my stop up. So in other words, I'm risking now 11 points, and we will see what happens. It is, we've on our methodology, our price action methodology, and then couple that with our software trading tool here that paints the price bars blue as a sign of strength or red as a sign of weakness. Here was a lovely lower high trade earlier, and the bars went red, and it went the whole way down from 103.70 down to 102.80, almost 100 points, 90-point move here earlier this afternoon. It's now, this is the afternoon of the 3rd of May, which is Tuesday, and it's 14:50 UK time here. So let us see what happens with this trade. Thank you. Well, I should say, because we have got our set of rules, it's either there's no grey areas. It's either a buy signal or a sell signal, and we know strategically exactly where our stop should be. And because I've brought my stop up, I know that if that low or my stop, if that is broken, that trade moves underneath that, strategically this move is now over. I have to go back into another set of analysis. Of course, you can trade more contracts, and you can add in profit. We really only are going about 20 points at this minute in time, up to 104.30 from 11. So it hasn't moved enough really to bring it up to a break even at this stage. So as I say to you, I'll pause the video and let's see how this develops. Okay, you can see it's moving up. We've still got blue bars, and I've maybe been a little bit tight in my stop, but remember, I'm in a short term. I'm in an 8 range chart here. This is the NinjaTrader platform, and we've got a set of rules from which we have to trade and use, and most importantly, stick to. Be very, very, very proactive in relation to sticking to our set of rules. That determines whether you're going to make money if you're trading or whether you're losing money, because if you get the mindset such as what we have here, then on times, and I don't know, all I can do is control my risk in this trade. If this turns out to be a good trade, if it turns out to be a bad trade, I'm going to be losing 11 points. Okay, and I'm trading 2 contracts, and it's the micro crude oil, so therefore it's only $100 margin per contract, $200 to trade this particular account. But if it happens to be a bad trade, I know exactly how much I'm going to lose. If it happens to be a good trade, that is only going to be known after the event. So this is why we have to keep our risk small and as small as possible, but at the same time have it strategically placed. Okay, another thing I want to share, it's most important when you're looking, whether you're trading on an intraday basis or on a slightly longer term basis, that you know exactly where the market should go. And I just want to share the daily chart. This is the daily chart of the micro, and you can see here that we had a very bullish daily bar yesterday. And so far, if I just bring up the data window, so far, yesterday's high was a high of 105.92. We're at 104.35, and today that high is 105.80. So it hasn't strategically taken out or broken yesterday's high, which is what it should do. Now, wouldn't it just be beautiful for me in this trade that it goes on to do that now? It may not be ready to do that, but from a probability perspective, yesterday's high should be broken to the upside before the low. Okay, so that there also further inspires me to be looking for buy signals on that analysis that yesterday's high should be broken to the upside. Okay, so we'll just flip back to my trade, and again it's moving on quite well, so much so now that I'm going to move my stop up to at least break even. All right, remember, it's all about, maybe a couple of points in front of it, it's all about protecting one's trading account and growing their equity curve as smoothly as possible. Okay, so we'll pause this and let's see how it develops. Now, this trade has went from my entry at 104.11 up to a high here of just above 60, 104.60. My stop just above break even at 14. But what I am going to do is I'm not going to let it go back some 50 points. So I am going to move my stop up a little bit to lock in some profits. And ideally, if it's moved 50 points, I'd like to be locking in 25. But I will give it a little bit more what we call wiggle room. Okay, there we go, it's going on here, it's nice. So now I've locked in 23, let me lock in 25 points. So I've locked in 25 points of that trade. 111 to 36 is 25, and the market is going very nicely for us. Now there's two ways from which to handle this trade from a trader's perspective, and that is I could pull profits on one of those positions. I'm two positions, as you can see here, or and then make sure that I've the other one at break even or above break even, or I can let it run with the two positions I'm on. Now if I was trading on a standard account, this is my trading account for the purposes of showing to the public, non-members, what we can do with our methodology. But if I was trading my own standard account and I was trading up to, which I do regularly, 5 contracts on the light crude oil, the big market, this particular micro crude oil contract is £1 per point and the standard contract is £10. So again, I would be up now 11 up to 70. I'd be up $800 in this particular trade instead of $121. Okay, so again, when the market moves straight up as it has done here, it took a little while getting going. You know, our next retracement, we want to see a higher low. Until we get that in place, I'm sort of in no man's land. I just want to lock in as much profit as I possibly can. So I don't want to give too much back. But if I do come out strategically early, because technically speaking, my stop should still be down here. If I do, I have to be prepared then if it makes another further higher confirmed low in blue bars to get in again. So I don't want to move it too close. I want to let this, I want to give it time. There we've got an indication from the arrow here now. We've just got a confirmed high in place. That's not selling a sell. That's just telling us we have what we call confirmed highs. What would indicate a sell signal would be a lower confirmed high. The market to move down, move back up again and make a lower high than that high that's just after being put in place. Okay. So again, I'll just pause this and let's see, does it develop any further. Again, we've got a guaranteed profit now of 30 points in this. We're up at 41 and our entry was at 11. Okay. What I do want to show just now, the trade's still going on quite well, but now we have another confirmed higher low. This low in here is a higher confirmed low than this low down here. So technically speaking now, I can bring my stop right up to there underneath that low, because I know strategically that if this market is going to come down, now I hope it goes on and achieves its daily price action objective of going to 105.92. So again, because we're in a small range, 8 range chart here, it's quite probable that the market would make a deeper retracement than that and take me out and still go on later. I hope that doesn't happen, obviously, because it's much easier when you trade less than trading more, although we're on an intraday basis. But technically speaking, if this market breaks that low there, as far as the 8 range chart is concerned, we have changed trend. Now what I can do at this stage is just put on a 3-minute chart to see, and there we're going out of red mode in the 3-minute up into blue mode. That's good. The 15-minute chart is still in red mode, folk. Okay, but if it breaks this high here, this is our last confirmed vertical bar trading pattern high. That arrow confirmed that. So if it breaks that 105 or just above it, we're heading in the right direction for sure. And of course the 60-minute chart is the same. It was blue mode, it retraced, went into one bar of red mode, back into green mode, and now it's back into red mode. So when I'm trading intraday on the futures markets, I just look at the bigger time frame pictures to give me an indication. Sorry, this was one of my members this morning asked me to put on a MACD, and that's why my MACD is on these charts. It is not something that I use in my trading, but because we were doing some one-to-one coaching earlier this morning, he asked me to put on a MACD. Okay. But it's much better if you just have got a methodology, and again, our software trading tool, because you get a much clearer picture and a much nicer graph. Now I can bring that on and that horizontal line down to there, and you see that's a very bullish bar. So obviously our objective is to go on up and take these highs out here. This is 105.92 here, just underneath 106. So of course it'd be lovely if it would do that and not stop me out on my intraday, on an intraday basis. Okay. So the trade's doing very well, folk. It's up at 61. Sorry, it's up at 79. My stop's at 61. Locking in now 50 points of profit, which again would not be a bad trade. Of course, sometimes as traders we get greedy and we like not 50, not 100, but 150, maybe more. But take what we can get. Okay, so it's moving nicely this now. So I'm going to try and give it a little bit more wiggle room, that if the market were to go up, and in this particular run up, what a run it has been. Look, goes into blue mode, it retraces, gives us a higher low down here than any low down here, and that market starts going up, and it's turning in very nicely. Now technically again, you see this here, blue arrow, that's indicating that we've now another higher confirmed low in here. And I could bring that up another little bit if I wished, and maybe I will bring it up just in there to 68. Okay, so we'll just pause this at the minute and let's see how it develops. Okay, so we've now guaranteed 57 points in this trade. Nice trade. A few minutes has paused, and the market has paused since I was last with you. So perhaps we are taking a break, and it's times like this that you know, when you see, you can see now, plainly to see, especially when you've got a range chart on, when it's actual pure price that you're watching. I know you are when you go to minute charts, etc., but it's the price movement within that particular time frame. Okay, in this instance, will I just take off this? It's the price. You can't see it as clearly as you can when you're within a range chart. But of course, it'd be lovely for this to break up through the 105 and head up north. I talk about going north or south. So north obviously means the market going upwards. But we just have to let it take its time now. When it does pause, it's times, I guess, that it can now have time, market makers, to look around and take out some stops. Again, there's another arrow in there, folk, and we don't want it to break round through these lows. So I'm just going to leave my stop there. Of course, I can be a little bit tighter, and perhaps I should be. Maybe bring it up 2 points. I might bring it up 2 points. That means that I've got a pure 60-point guaranteed trade, profitable trade. And let's hope it just break on through and goes another 100 points, because technically, as I've already said, technically, the daily chart, this market should break yesterday's low and yesterday's lows. As we can see from the data window here, were lows of 105.92. Okay, the high was 105.92. We've got a bullish bar indicating the probabilities of that being broken to the upside are much greater than the lows to be broken to the downside. Firstly, doesn't mean to say those lows will not be broken at some stage in the future, but before those highs are broken to the upside, the probability is always going to be greater for those highs to be broken. Okay? That's just a very simplistic basics of price action. So I'll just pause this again. We know now that we've got from 11, sorry, I'll put that up, I said 60 points, let's make it 71. That's exactly 60 points. We know that at worst case scenario, we have a 60-point profitable trade. Okay, so let's see. Thank you very much. There is the trade over, everyone, because I'm just after being stopped out. You know what, my trade at 71. It's after just nipping down here. And technically speaking, once it nips through that line there, which is the last confirmed low, although, you know, you could see it slowing down, that then was indicating that it was maybe taking a breather. We're very much, as you can see, in an uptrend, and there's still a very high probability, or sorry, the probability rather I should say, is still for that high of 105.92 to be broken to the upside. So only that I was bringing my stop up and bringing it up tighter and tighter, because obviously we want to lock in as much as we possibly can. So it was a good point. It was a good trade. It was a 60-point profitable trade. It gives me an opportunity now. I have a totally clear head to get back into another trade if I see the setup. What setup am I looking for? If this market is going to retrace a little bit, I want to say coming down. I want to say going back up and giving me a confirmed higher low and blue bars. You see the red bars are starting to appear on the 8-range chart. Okay, so I'd like to see them go back into blue mode, and then of course if we flick over to the 15-minute chart, that there will eventually move out of red mode and go into a green mode, indicating a transition, and then back into blue. Okay, look at these trades here on the 15-minute chart. The downward moves that this market made. It fell from like above 105 down to 100, a 500-point move just by trading our methodology and our software, using our software trading tool with the price bar colors to further confirm the buying and selling pressures. Okay, so look, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.